I had the privilege of serving the people of California in the legislature for about 27 years. I retired last November so that I could take this enterprise on full time. I also served the people of Rosemont on the Rosemont Community Association and served as their board chairman for 12 years. During my time, both in the community and also working for the legislature, I came to understand the need to be active, if you will, in making sure that the values of the community were represented. That's why when the Rosemont Little League, for example, using much smaller examples, I suppose, than my opponent does, when they had a problem with the Cordova-Reckitt Park District raising their fees, we went to bat and worked with the district to make sure that our kids in our community didn't get, if you will, held up. And there was an opportunity for parents to actually work into a reasonable, if you will, rate for government to do things. I've also had the privilege in my time with the legislature of working with a number of different members, and my opponent's correct. We have both been very, very involved in making sure that bipartisan efforts are the key to what we achieve, because it's not through sitting on one side of the fence or the other and throwing rocks at the other guy that you actually get things accomplished. That's why I was very proud of my work in 2009 when we put together the first significant water policy package to have been passed in California in about 40 years. That was also the time that they passed the biggest bond that had been put before the voters, or was to be put before the voters, and that's been changed recently. But nonetheless, the policy issues that sprang from the need for us to go into the next century, if you will, this century, finally catch up and address the overwhelming needs that the state has. When you look at what we've done recently, very recently I wrote a piece, we've all benefited from the greatest generation. Those folks that conquered fascism came home and saw a country and a state that was full of potential, and they marched out. They accomplished great things, and in fact, this governor's, the current governor's father, is probably most well known for being responsible for the state highway system, the state water system, and the UC and CSU system. But we've gone from being the greatest generation to the hand-wringing generation. We spend a significant amount of time in the Bill Mill, I call it, downtown, talking about things that, at the end of the day, don't change the current state of affairs. And we are the first generation, I believe, that is on the precipice of turning over a state to our children and grandchildren that's going to be less than what we received. They're going to have fewer opportunities, fewer chances to excel and provide their children with the life that we were able to accomplish. And all you have to do to measure that is look at where we stand as a state. We're 50th in business friendliness. We're 47th in educational funding. We're 49th when it comes to the regulatory and tax scheme in our state. I think it's time that we change direction. It's really great that class pictures are handed out and great dinners are had by everybody, but hard work needs to be done. We cannot be the generation that turns over to our children a world and a state that's worse than what we found it. Thank you.
You have cards.